Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Kristen Lloyd with Bariatric Mindset, author of Bariatric Mindset Success and Release Your Regain, which I have here today. And I'm using this as a model because there's so much good stuff in here. And yes, Bariatric Mindset Success is also good, but I have found that Release Your Regain is really great content for getting back on track. And one of the things I'm going to talk about today is control. So there is this idea of that we need to control everything. But one of the things that I found quite frequently is that we really need to relinquish control. We need to surrender control. So most often, the reason that people can't control their food, I put that in air quotes for a reason because I'm not here to help you control your food. That's the least of what you need. What you really need is to be in charge of yourself, in charge and in charge of your relationship with food. And when you feel out of control with food, and again, I'm using air quotes because these are the words that I hear so many people and my clients use, that they feel out of control. They're usually out of control with food because they feel powerless and out of control in so many other areas of their life. And so they turn to food to self-soothe and want to control food, but it's actually a reflection of everything that they cannot control in life. How is that for a huzzah, right? An aha moment. So control, I see it when I usually ask when I'm teaching a class. I'll usually say, how many control freaks are in the room? And all of the arms, oh, me, right? How many control freaks we have in here? How many perfectionists, right? How many perfectionists, how many control freaks? And again, that is something that I even have a chapter on perfectionism and control in Release Your Regain. Because when it comes to folks who have gotten off track and had regain, those are some issues that people really need to deal with at the course. So again, not trying to make this pitchy, but this does have a lot of information with regards to those things. So I wanted to talk about, yes, control, what we think is in our control, what's outside of our control, but also when it comes to getting back on track and taking those steps, we tend to think about getting a meal plan, what we need to eat. And yes, that's important, but so is following the plan. And the other thing that I wanted to address was some of the emotional things that are behind the curtain. Self-sabotage, another thing that I have in here, right? Why are you self-sabotaging? Why might you be self-sabotaging? So there may be, again, going back to what I talked about in an earlier video, is stressors. So life stressors, life events are typically the reasons that people get off track, right? So there may be huge life changes, and this may be where you might consider getting a therapist, right? Finding a therapist in your area with regards to whatever it might be going through: divorce, grief and loss, a big life change, move cross country, right? Whatever it may be. The other thing that I want to address is trauma. So many people who have had bariatric surgery have some form of history of trauma. And while I'm not going to specifically go into certain details or any types of training on trauma, what I do want to say is that in our physical body, right, we have felt sense, and we may have, we do have the ability to sense out fear and stressful situations. But when somebody is going through, let's say, fight, flight, or the stress response, it can also be triggering. And if someone has previously associated food with calmness or comfort, especially someone who's had a trauma response will associate those things and see food as very calming. So this is where additional coping mechanisms and coping skills are needed. This is also why I've put together a series of courses and things like that to train people on how to work through emotion regulation and things like that. If you choose to work with a trauma therapist or a therapist in your area, that's also your prerogative. The tools and skills that I've personally put together are specifically for bariatric patients and are trauma informed. So they do support individuals who have had a history of trauma and are geared towards specifically bariatric patients with specific issues. Now, with that said, that also can be part of the cycle of self-sabotage. So it's not conscious though. That's the other thing that I want to say is so someone who has endured trauma, right? There's nothing in our conscious mind that we can tell ourselves, stop that. Why are you doing that? A lot of these things are beneath the surface. So there may need to be some, again, trauma work that needs to be done in order to soothe the physiology, the body, in terms of changing and creating more of a nervous system regulation that supports individuals to regulate their emotions and their nervous system with other skills and tools other than food. Key, other than food. So if you're constantly going to food and you're like, I don't know why, right? You can utilize coping skills, tools, and techniques, but you may also need some deeper work if you've had trauma in the past. So key thing there. So with that said, the other thing I want to address with regards to habit changes is, and something that I mentioned before, is that we have to create like this flexing, we have to practice these new skills over and over and over. But the other thing that I want you to connect the dots with is that you need to decide and make it a positive experience. If in your mind you're like, I have to do that thing, I have to meal prep, but I don't want to, it totally sucks, I don't want to move my body, you have just told your brain, I'm avoiding that thing like the plague. So you've got to create fun, play, excitement when it comes to creating lifestyle change to reach your goals. Because if you have created it like an albatross in your mind, you're not going to want to do it. And it's going to be harder for you to do it. And then you're going to be exacerbated by, why can't I just do that thing? Well, it's kind of like you you told yourself you had to go pick up dog poo. And who wants to do that? So when you are thinking about the things that you have to do, I want you to shift one simple thing in your language. Instead of have to, I want you to change your language to get to. What do you get to do that is going to support your lifestyle? What do you get to do that it's going to help you to get to your goals that you're excited about, or I hope you're excited about? What are you getting to do every day that is for your health, for your life, so that you can live fully? What do you get to do that's going to lead you there? So that one little change in your language is also going to change how it's perceived in your brain. So that little shift, have to, get to, has a totally different connotation. So I want you to practice that this week. And feel free to comment below and let me know how it goes. And if you haven't yet signed up for my 4-week free course, The Mindset Behind Your Macros, the link is below, and please do that because I know it's going to help you. So that's what I've got for you today. I will see you in video number 5 of Getting Back on Track, really helping to support you stay the course, create lasting lifestyle change. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye.